The funeral was silent until the German shepherd suddenly began barking at the coffin, refusing to stop. At first, everyone believed it was grief. But when the barking turned frantic, something shifted. Whatever the dog was trying to signal would reveal a miracle so shocking it left every mourner trembling. Today they were saying goodbye to Officer Daniel Granger, a decorated hero, a loving husband, and a partner to one remarkable German shepherd. At the foot of the casket sat Rex, Daniel's loyal canine companion. He wore his black vest with the word police stitched boldly across the side. But Rex didn't stay still. He released a low whine, then a soft bark. People ignored it, assuming he was grieving, confused by the packed room and the absence of Daniel's voice. Then Rex's behavior changed. He stood on all fours, ears raised, eyes locked onto the casket. His tail stiffened as a deep growl vibrated from his chest. Suddenly he began barking sharply, loud, urgent, echoing through the chapel like a warning. People turned in their seats, startled. The officer beside Rex gently tugged his collar, but the dog wouldn't move. Instead, he lunged toward the casket, his paws scraping the polished wood. Whispers spread across the chapel. Something was wrong. Daniel's widow lifted her head, alarmed. Rex had never behaved like this. His bark wasn't sorrow, it was a signal. The barking continued. Some believed it was stress. Others wondered if Rex was reacting to grief in the only way he understood. But the veteran officers watching recognized the posture. It wasn't panic. It wasn't fear. It was alertness, focused and intense, the way a trained canine behaves when he detects something. Officer Bryant, Daniel's close colleague, stood and approached. "Easy, boy," he whispered, placing a hand on Rex's neck. But Rex didn't flinch. Instead, he barked again, sharper, directly at the base of the coffin. Then something changed. Rex stopped barking and began pacing in circles around the casket, whining and sniffing along the edges. He returned to the same spot and tapped the wood with his paw. That's when Officer Bryant heard it, an almost undetectable noise from inside, a faint, muffled cry. Bryant's face drained of color. He turned to the funeral director. "Open it now!" Gasps rippled through the mourners. The director hesitated, muttering about protocol, but Bryant's voice grew firm. "Open the casket now!" Rex growled again, pressing his nose to the lid. The room fell silent as the lid creaked open, and nestled beneath Daniel's folded hands, hidden inside his uniform, was a tiny, trembling newborn puppy, alive. No one moved. The air thickened with disbelief as eyes locked on the small creature wriggling on Daniel's chest. The puppy was shivering, no more than a few days old, its fur still damp, its nose searching blindly for warmth. Rex released a soft whimper, his tail wagging carefully as he peered into the coffin. His posture shifted from frantic to protective, almost paternal. "How did it even get there?" someone whispered. The priest crossed himself. Is this a sign?" Officer Bryant leaned closer and gently lifted the fragile pup. As he did, something slipped from beneath Daniel's jacket. He picked it up, recognizing Daniel's handwriting. It read, "If anything happens to me, please take care of them."
"Them?" Bryant repeated. Another gasp swept the room. Rex stood guard, gently nudging the tiny puppy and letting out a confirming bark. He hadn't been grieving, he had been protecting. Daniel hadn't only trained Rex to follow commands, he had trusted him with something deeper, loyalty beyond death. And Rex had delivered, revealing a miracle no one could have believed without seeing it. Tears flowed, but now they were not just for sorrow, they were for wonder. Officer Bryant unfolded the note with shaking hands as the room went silent. The letter began simply, "If you're reading this, it means I didn't make it home." The crowd gasped. Even the priest stepped back, stunned by Daniel's clarity. But if Rex is with you, and if by some miracle she made it too, then no, this wasn't an accident. I knew she was coming. I kept it hidden because I didn't want panic. Rex and I understood each other better than anyone. Bryant paused, swallowing hard, then continued reading. She was born the night I went missing in the cold. Rex didn't leave my side, not once. He stayed, he guarded. And when I closed my eyes for the last time, I hoped someone would hear him bark. The room broke down in tears. Rex's barking hadn't been grief. It had been a final message, a plea for help, a guardian's alarm. Daniel's last mission wasn't about himself. It was about protecting a life he barely met. And Rex had ensured that life wasn't lost. Later that evening, as the sun dipped, the puppy lay wrapped in a soft blanket inside the precinct's canine office. A nurse who attended the funeral confirmed the pup would survive despite the cold and dehydration. "It's a miracle," she whispered. Rex sat beside the crib, his eyes fixed on the tiny bundle. His usual stiffness had melted into calm protectiveness. Officers passed by, shaking their heads in disbelief, some sitting down beside him. This wasn't just a rescue, it felt sacred. Amanda, Daniel's widow, entered holding the letter tightly. She knelt beside Rex, tears streaming. He knew she'd need you. She gently stroked Rex's head. He leaned into her touch, eyes soft. Amanda looked at the pup, her voice trembling. She'll grow up knowing who her father was, and the dog who saved her life. Officer Bryant stood nearby, watching quietly. He never stopped protecting, even in death. The department unanimously agreed the puppy would stay with Amanda and Rex. She would grow up surrounded by love, with a living piece of her father watching over her. And Rex hadn't just lost his partner. He had discovered his new purpose. He hadn't barked from fear. He barked because life was still inside. If you like this inspiring canine story, don't forget to like and subscribe. More amazing stories are coming.